everybody to today's session. So today we'll be talking about how to activate your nobleman luck. So how to activate? So first of all, before we go to how to activate, right? First of all, I think we should know that what is a nobleman? What does it mean by nobleman? Nobleman in Chinese, we always say 贵人 or this one 有贵人帮助,有贵人辅助 and so on. And in a way, we have always been conditioned, those of us who go to see the feng shui 先生 or go to Xun Meng, go to see those fortune teller. We have always heard about this term, and in a way, it's always planted in a very positive manner. Whenever you have 贵人, that means you have people helping you, assisting you, and thus, in a way, your life is much more smoother and much more easier. But is that so? So today we are going to share with you how to actually activate this 贵人 and how you can, some reverse psychology that will be applied here. Yeah. So there's a chat. Yeah, let me just see. No, I don't want to project a slide because it's easier for me to see like that. But you can see, right? One smaller. Because if the slide show, my whole screen will be blocked. So it's very hard for me to talk and see. So I'll do it like that. As long as there's not much, the details is not very cluttered. So I think you can still see even though it's smaller. Okay, I'm checking the chat actually. Okay, go straight to the point. Talk already lah. What is nobleman? Nobleman is someone that can be assisting you, can be helping you, supporting you. But then also bear in mind that later I'll share more. But bear in mind that sometimes the 贵人, we talk about assisting, helping, right? But it doesn't mean that it's entirely a very benevolent, a very kind, like someone really like, oh, you're falling down on the street, and then really people pick you up with no question asked and help you unconditionally. Sometimes it's not like that. Sometimes it can even be the other way around, whereby the nobleman, the so-called nobleman, can be someone who makes you want to work harder. For example, my sister told me this story before. There was one day she went for a job interview. She was a secretary, and so last time, secretary, they always have this like different kind of notes taking one. So they have this different kind of notes taking to ensure that they can take notes quickly during the meeting. So it was a thing. But because of the previous job, she doesn't really use this skill. She doesn't really practice. So after a while, she completely loses this skill. And when she wants to change the job, she went for a job interview. The interview really sound her off, saying that, you're a secretary, you don't even know how to take shorthand. Yeah, it's called shorthand. You didn't even know how to take shorthand. I think you're not very good because of that. So when she came back, she was so pissed off, and initially she was between sad and pissed off. She was embarrassed, she was pissed off, and she was a bit sad because when you think about it, what the person's saying, right, is not entirely untrue. Even though it could be a bit harsh, what the person's saying is very true. It's straight to the point. If you're a secretary and you can't do one of the main skills that secretary is supposed to can be able to do, then you are not very good. People will make assumption, people will make judgment based on that one weakness that you have. So thus, after that, she was really in those Chinese movie发奋图强, really work very hard. She day and night she was practicing her shorthand, and within a very short time she was very good. And in fact, I've seen her notebooks before. When you dictate something to her, right, when you tell her a whole paragraph, the first one she'll take all the notes. So in this sense, this is considered a nobleman as well. Nobleman as in really kickstart, really make my sister realize, in this case my sister realized that there is something that she is lacking, and that something is very important and she needs to pick it up. So the reason why I'm sharing this story is, right, I want everyone to know that sometimes nobleman, it could be not really a very nice, kind, and very helpful, very soft, that kind, and not like a mother who never mind, you do what also, I will accept what you are, and then continue to give. And sometimes it can be a stricter disciplinarian, something like maybe can be said maybe your last time your school prefect, your school discipline teacher, something like that. Okay, so now we know what is a nobleman. Let us go forward. get stuck again on the slides. Okay. So now we talk about nobleman, right? But let us now think about the situation that we are in right now in the current economic climate. Why? I would suppose that perhaps I just do a quick check here, right? The reason why you attend this talk, why do you want to know about your nobleman actually? What is the reason? Maybe can you give me some, you can reply in the chat. What is the reason you want to know the nobleman? Some people, generally, a lot of people will say, oh, I want to know my nobleman because I'm starting a small, I'm a small business owner. So I want to see whether I got Gui Yan or not to help me in my business. So that's I want to know. Is that your reason that you want to know, that you want to have a nobleman? Or it could be reason like, oh, I just want my life to like very smooth, very everything is smooth and easy. Everything is seamless, is easy. So thus, I want to know whether I got a nobleman or not. Okay, Maureen just said, make life easier. Yeah, some people is like that. So if I want to have a nobleman, then my life will easy lah. I got people to help me, or maybe give me certain points that will direct me to the right direction. Tommy is also saying that how to overcome crisis. True. Some of us, we want to know nobleman because in case we have crisis, we maybe can get support of this noble person. And from there, it's much easier. We can get the solution. Okay, thank you. So these are things, Raymond is saying how to guide us. So these are the things that a nobleman is useful in the circumstances. So in today's session, I'm going to specifically focus on how you can get nobleman in this, especially in this current trend, current economic climate now. Because currently we have in Malaysia, we have the MCO law. Some countries they call it the stay-home order, very literal, stay home. I order you to stay home. Or it also can be said as a restricted movement order. Whatever name that is being called, whatever name that it is changing the world that we are living right now. It is changing the way that we are doing things. So in that sense, what does the current this current situation now, where does it put you? Where does it put your role? Where does it put your business? Where are you now? For example, if you're a mother, we know that many of my friends, colleagues, you're a mother and you're a working mother. Now, stay home, work. So you need to be a wife, be a mother, and be whatever role that you're doing in your job, be an office worker, all at the same time. You're juggling 3 things at the same time because last time what you can do is you can segregate. Oh, when I go to work, I'm an office worker, I'm a business development manager, I'm a marketing person or whatever. But when you go back home, oh, that's where I'm a wife, I'm a mother. Especially when kids have come back from the babysitter, when kids have come back from perhaps their kindergarten, then you take over the role. But now it's not. Everything is mashed together. You have to be all at the same time. So in this situation, where does your role stand? It's changing. Same goes to your business. Where does your business stand now? What is your income source stands right now in this current economic condition? We know that we have heard in the newspaper for Malaysians. We have heard that about the Cameron farmers, or because of the distribution channel, the issue with the distribution channel, thus they can't even deliver their vegetables, and a lot of it is going to waste. Vegetable farmer is having this situation. What about those people that are on daily wages? Are they still, now they can't work, so the daily wages is affected. What about other businesses that is not in the essential services that the government has allowed them to operate as usual? There's so many businesses out there that can't operate. So in this new world order, at least for this period of time, this few months period of time, we call it, I just call it simply that it's like the new world order. Think back, where does our role stand and where does our business stand? Because when we know where is the problem, where is the situation, then we can find a solution. Perhaps the solution lies in getting nobleman, in activating our nobleman staff. Okay. Next, I would like to share with you. So we're talking just now about the MCO and the current trend of the world, the new world order, so-called. So in this new world order, actually this is not an overnight thing. We have observed that information gathering, for example, has changed over the years. For example, last time, it used to be when we want any information, we need to go to seek the right person. We ask people, like for instance, just now since I'm in this line, right, talking to you about party, right, let's talk about feng shui lo lah, 算命佬啦. You want to know about your destiny. You want to 睇三世書, the past life, current life, and future life. All those things. What do? You ask people, hey, you got a feng shui lo to recommend or not? You got a fortune teller to recommend or not? Or you would have heard somehow from the grapevine, from the neighborhood, right, that so and so, have gone and see this master so and so, and very, very accurate, very lang. So after that, what you do? Go and kill. So that time, the information was very much from the people. The people is the one that is holding the information. Besides fortune telling, same thing goes for other industry. For example, insurance. I'm insurance industry. Insurance, it was very much agent-centric at that time. Now, yes, it still is, but it has shifted from those simple product to now the agent-centric is those a bit more complicated product. Real estate. Last time you want to look for a house, what do? You have no choice. You only need to look for people who is selling. You need to look for intermediary who is holding the information in order for you to get the information, in order for you to get the goods or the services that you want. But now, is that the case? Think about it. So last time it was initially, long ago, it was only very, very people-centric. You want information, you go to people. After that, as the time goes by, it's more on, there are books that is being written. You will see that, those insurance agents doing very well, they write a book teaching you the ropes, even sharing with you what are the insurance that is needed and so on. Books, physical written items is coming into the picture. And then after that, what happens? Internet exploded, and suddenly we have content, the amount of content that we never imagined we could. There's so much information out there. But initially, remember last time, it was not that simple. Last time when the internet was first created, when you want to find certain information, right, you actually had to Google some keywords, and then you remember you have to put some bracket, you have to add a plus sign. Those people who know all these skills, they can find information easier. They can actually find the right information that they want, but not all. But currently, in this day and age, it's not that anymore. Information with technology is very, very centric to you. That's why you can see that the bottom here, I'm putting up the, last time it was context, content, and then now it's people, content and context, right? Let me show you how. Now with the technology, not only we get information, but we also get information, we can even get information from the people that, from the people that is using this service. For example, you go to Grab. You go to Grab, the app. With technology, with the app, you know that when the rider is picking you up, you know this rider is what kind of, how many reviews, how many stars, 5 stars. If let's say it's 3 stars, I think you also don't want to go into the car, correct? And then not only that, not only you know that so superficial is just 5 stars, you can even go in deeper to the details, and you can see that, this driver is a great conversationalist. This driver keeps the car in a tip-top condition. So the information, right, currently the information is already very, very high context. High context meaning that, high context information means that the information that we want is very streamlined to what we want. Because in the Google, like for instance, in the search engine, right, have you tried before, like currently I'm talking about, let's say I'm talking about pizza, right? You're talking about pizza, or actually I go and Google pizza. And then after that, my Facebook page, they'll pop up all the pizza. You can talk about privacy and security, like that is one part of it. But if you look into the other side of it, is the information now is very, very streamlined. It's very high context, meaning information has been so it's kind of like a mold to us, to our needs. If I'm like, if you use social media, along the way, they will know this, let's say for me, my demographic, what is my demographic? Age group. What is the age group? What is the income level estimated? Yeah. What is where I'm staying in Malaysia and around which area I'm staying? So the information that is being fed to me through my social media is always like quite centric to what I want. And why am I taking the time to explain to you all this, right? Why do you need to know how information gathering has changed? Because this is exactly the way that you can use to your advantage, or you can use based on your needs. Information is both ways. It's not only you are accepting information, you're absorbing information. The other way is, why not think about is, you also can be the one who's giving information. So you are the content producer perhaps, or you are the one who is writing a good positive review in someone's Facebook page. For example, the TheJiveAcademy, we have a Facebook page. If you come for our class, if you write a good review for us, I will very much appreciate it. And review that is genuine is always being welcome. So other people who perhaps my future next month, we're going to have another class. And whenever we have class, people will go into my Facebook and say, who is this trainer? This trainer on okay or not one? Does she really know parts and feng shui or not? So people will go into my Facebook page and they will see the review that is there. And from there, they will judge whether this will be one of the points that they will use to make the judgment whether it is worthwhile for them to spend time listening to this further talk or not. So these are the things that information gathering has changed, and we need, for us, for our business, for our role in the society, we need to be aware of this so that we can cater our information accordingly. Now let's look into the next page. Okay, so we talk about Nobleman and talk about information. Why these two? Why do I put these two together? Very simple. Because in this age, in this MCO-centric, stay-home-centric age, in this technology age, our nobleman, one of the best noblemen that we can get, is the one that is actually writing good reviews for us. Is the one that is outside giving us good reviews, good feedback for whatever business, whatever roles, whatever roles that we're doing, whether private or at work. So how do you actually want to gather support from them? For example, I would think that do not think about that this is only relevant if you're a business owner. Even if you're stay-at-home mom, right, it's relevant as well. What? Think about it, how it is relevant. In a way, your consumers, your customers, is your family members. So if they give you so-called good review, then your name is out there. You are doing a good job. You can think of it into that angle. You may not agree with me at this moment, but let us go further. So we talk about now in this information age, so much information, very high context, people-centric as well. So in this information age, right, how do we garner support in this information age? First, look into this. You need to create context over content. Context over content and the relevancy. I'll go through all three after I go in one by one, yeah. First, context over content, make it relevant. Second, create participants, not observers. You create participants and not just observers. Like for instance, in this class, participants is people who chat. If observers, I'll do a webinar, no one can comment. I shut off all comments, mute all the mic, and I'll talk. I don't care what is the question you ask. I will just go on based on what I want to say. So that is an observer, not a participant. Next, content, the initial content, bear in mind that it's only at the start. It's only the starting. Your content will never end. You still need to keep on tweaking your content from time to time. Okay. So now let's talk about context over content. Yeah. Context over content. Now we know that in this information age, there is so much content out there. Even though I've said just now, a lot of content is being tailored to us, right? But the content can still be much, much better. You can make it much more real and human. For example, how do you want to put a higher context to whatever that you're writing, whatever story that you're sharing, whatever information that you're giving out there? Tell your story in a very relatable manner. Make it relatable, real, and interesting. What is the meaning of relatable? I would like to highlight the story of our current Prime Minister, yeah, our Tan Sri Muhyiddin, Malaysian Prime Minister. Relatable. You notice that whenever now he's giving a talk, right, he's style is very different from Dr. M. Whether you support this government or not, we know, or whether you say this is backdoor government or whatever it is, that is a different story. Today, let's talk about Tan Sri Muhyiddin when he give his speech. He make his story relatable. How? He'll tell story, he'll speak in Malay, after that he'll interlace it with English, and after that he always tells story from his, oh, I'm also a grandfather like you. I also have family members. Just like you, you know, my family members is, I worry about my family members' safety. I worry about my children, my grandchildren's safety. So it's relatable. He talk about family. He doesn't say, oh, I as your prime minister, you need to do this. He does say it from time to time now, but the key is he doesn't say it very often. Why? Because if he talk from the point of view of prime minister, right, it's not relatable. How many of us are prime minister? There's only one prime minister in each country. So how do we know what being a prime minister is? I don't care. I only care about my family. I only care about my own safety. Thus, whenever he say, he always try to make it a point to say it in a relatable manner. Yeah. See, right? Makcik Kia. And he go down to the extent of giving terms, right, that is very to the masses, like Makcik Kia. He talk about the Makcik Kia, the small makcik who got a family, and then after that he even give an example of those roadside store that is famous for certain food in East Malaysia. He purposely make it relatable by covering all facets of the society. East Malaysia, West Malaysia, there's another political struggle there. But then he managed to do it, he make it relatable. Next, it has to be something real, yeah. It cannot be makeup. Like for instance, I cannot be creating stories that saying that, oh, you know my grandchildren loves this. You know my grandchildren party is like this. My grandchildren needs Nobleman. See my face also, I don't have grandchildren now. So how can I make this kind of story? It's not real. It has to be, even though your story, you might find that the story is very perhaps unique, or not many people have the same experiences as you. You can always find a point whereby there is more people who will find relatable. Actually, all of us are normal human beings. I'm sure there is one part. You could be a wife, you could be a mother, you could be an office worker. Those kind of things, always there's an angle that makes it relatable. Like for instance, now what the TheJiveAcademy is doing, we're trying to gather a group of people who is good in metaphysics to do the sharing. So this is our story. When we want to make it, we want to give people a platform for people to share, because we know that in actual fact in this community, right, maybe not many people have the platform to actually share their knowledge. That's why we created this. It's real. It's not something that we created. It's not something that is really made up. It's something that is real. There is a real community here who have a lot of knowledge, but they are looking for one platform to actually share. Yeah, and then also we have to make it interesting, and also slant it towards positive, because no one likes something that is like only passive with no result, with no solution. I'm actually a film student. I'm a film and broadcasting student. So in film and broadcasting, we always talk about this story arc, and always the hero's journey. The hero's journey, very simple one. A lot of blockbuster story where we have this hero's journey. Hero's journey is how the hero is someone who's very normal, perhaps even have issue like being bullied, or perhaps have some weaknesses. After that, oh, he strive, he struggle. Remember the pursuit of happiness, that he struggle. After that, work very hard, and then at the end he triumphed. He became somebody. These are the things that we call it the hero's journey. And in whatever angle that we do, right, in whatever information that we put out there, right, we always have to look into this hero's journey and craft the content accordingly. And bear in mind that I'm not asking you to do something that is not real, yeah, but just that whenever you are writing a business proposal, whenever you're writing the story of your business, right, bear in mind this idea, because it's also very good for your thinking. Always think about the positive side instead of thinking about, oh, it's Monday, doom and gloom, I have to go to work, there's so much work, and people are not supporting me, my boss is a bad person, or my family is what. Always think about what is the solution to it instead of looking into the issues. So tell a story in a very relatable, real, and interesting manner. And then next is context over content. Context means something deeper, more real to the person. Because of that, you cannot be a jack of all trades. You cannot be everything, you know little bit, you know little bit, you know little bit. For example, we have a 12 days program here, Mindful Living Project. It cannot be my face talking about astrology, talking about Qi, talking about Bazi, talking about even a Yi Jing. One person to share in depth about one topic or maybe 1 to 3 topics is good, but it cannot be just I'm touching a little bit of everything. You need to have experts who are more focused on certain topic. So I call it be a Jill of one or few traits. Don't be a jack, be a Jill. Okay. And then next is consistency. Always be consistent in your message, in your messaging, in the information that you're giving out. For example, if you're Trump, right, then you'll be a Trump. If you're Obama, then you'll be Obama. Don't write every time let's say you're Trump, who is very becoming very strong, the words that he used. Suddenly, if one day he was talking in a very soft manner, or very unlike him, people will get confused. You need to be consistent. Whatever that message or the brand that you're trying to put out there, right? Be consistent. Always, if you're very motherly, very caring type, then is by all means. If you're more like straightforward to the point, and you highlight whatever that is not working. If let's say what you're doing currently is not working, then you need to evaluate your Trump style. Is it working or not? Next, we talk about. I'm so irritated with my mouse. It's not really working. Okay, next we talk about, just now we talk about context over content. Oh, I forgot to share with you this information. We talk about real and relatable, right? And also make it very, very community driven, right? For example, you can see in the Facebook page, a lot of Facebook groups, those that are popular, right? You can see that they have a certain relatable kind of message. For instance, this one is a Women's Innovative Network. They always empower women to do bazaar, to sell things. And so they always have this. They organize bazaar. Now, during NCO time, right, they actually organize online bazaar. So they're very creative, and they're always into nurturing people who are poor, people who don't have much skills. They always encourage them to, hey, perhaps start with something, do something that you can sell. So these are the groups. And then the other group that is highlighted here is the Crave. Crave is also a network that is selling food. And how Crave do it, right? You can later, if you're of interest, right, you can Google them and look into their writing. They're very they really highlight that the point that they are helping to empower the community by selling food. People can actually get some money to nurture their family and to build their dreams in a sense. So in this groupings and in this all the small businesses, what I'm trying to highlight is they always use a very high context, and they make it very clear. The storytelling, their purpose is very clear. They highlight that friends is very important, community is very important. So they're creating a community or a friends group or even a tribe. Next strategy that we have. What should we do is, just now we talk about create participants, not observers. Like for example, Zoom is actually a meeting kind of platform whereby, yes, now I'm talking, but after that, you guys are free to interact. You guys are free to ask questions, to highlight your thoughts. What are your thoughts on all these things? And why we use this kind of platform instead of me recording a video. After that, I just put it on my YouTube or on my Facebook. then you all watch lah. And then when you comment, after a while only I reply to you. If those things are not very effective, why? Because it's one-dimensional, one-sided. It's always one-sided. The feedback is not immediate, first thing. Second thing is the content is not catered towards what the audience wants. So when you want to create participants and not observers, what should you do? You should get people involved. For example, you can ask them to do a survey, give your opinion, or you give them a sample. After that, you ask them after you give them a sample, if they like it, hey, would you like to buy this special trial pack, the starting pack? And then after that, if they like it, would you like to refer? So get them involved by giving. Why I say that giving survey? Because, for example, if you want to create something, right, and you do not know exactly, like for instance, in Malaysia there is this very popular brand, Oxwhite. Oxwhite is actually, they specialize in making men's shirt, white shirt only. That's what they started. So initially, right, they actually did survey. They asked people, what kind of material you like? What kind of neck kind of style do you like? What kind of sleeve that you like? They actually ask questions. After that, when they get the feedback from the survey, right, they design the thing accordingly. And it is also good because if, for example, if you are part of the group that do the survey for this Oxwhite, how would you feel when the design, when the shirt is finally being manufactured and is ready? You will feel that you want to buy one, right? Because especially when your opinions are taken into consideration. Yeah, let's say you say that, oh, I actually like my sleeve button to have a white color with stripes on, for example, your idea. Then after that, they really create that law. They really create the white button with the stripes on. Then you're like, hey, they really take my idea, and now the baby is out, the shirt is out. How would you feel? You want to buy one because there is a sense of belonging there. You feel that you actually put your effort, your consideration, your opinion is being taken into consideration. So get people involved. For example, now after this mindful living project, I'm going to send a survey to all of you and ask, hey guys, next, what do you all want? What kind of content do you all want to see? You like video, or you like Facebook Live, or how? After that, when you reply, I hope that with your reply, I can do accordingly so that we create something that you like, not something that our team like, not the whole Jive Academy like, but it's something that is suitable to you and what you like. And next, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help one. And what help is that? This help is just the help of putting reviews, sharing your experience, and whatever areas that you can. Different people can give different help, not the same thing. Some people, let's say, for example, if we have someone who is good in design, then perhaps you can ask them to help in the design. Hey, what do you think of this design? Is it good enough, or do you think that it can be improved? People like to share their experience, and people like to help. This is something that is intrinsic to us because human, we are a social creature. We live in a community. So if you read some research, right, actually the happiest moment that we have, right, is when we manage to help somebody. When we manage to help, we find that there's a sense of accomplishment. It gives a very good feeling that, hey, I did something good. So give people the chance to have a good feeling. Ask for help. Ask for help in whatever way that you feel that the person can help you. Not necessarily it's money. A lot of people is very sensitive when it comes to money. I think that a lot of people like to help. This rule will not apply, like let's say if you talk about money. But if it's not money, it's ideas, it's opinion, it's feedback, people are very willing. Next, how you can create participants is you encourage the building or the creation of groups, squads, teams, forums, WhatsApp, Telegram. Encourage all this. Why? Because you let them have their own chat. Like for example, I say that I've been attending all these online courses, right? They actually have they create forums online so that students are not the company itself. Yeah, students, they can actually go and join this forum and they can interact with other students. Because when you create this kind of squads or team or WhatsApp group or Telegram group, right? People can interact freely, and when they interact, they can learn more. They can learn more, and from there, you have your own community that also helps you whenever you want to ask for any review or feedback, because you can go to that group. Yes. True, receiving is also about giving. I do agree and believe in this giver's game. When you give, when you give more, right, you feel happy. One thing. Second thing is you also don't price it to receive from, because it's not one-sided. If it's one-sided, just take only, and it won't be sustainable one. Because it's one-dimensional, it won't be sustainable one. Next, let's talk about content is the start, not the end. It's the start. Sometimes I realize that a lot of us, me included, whenever we want to launch something or do something, we always have this thinking that someone can show us the way. That's why we talk about this Nobleman concept, Gui Yan. I hope that, for example, TheJiveAcademy, currently our situation, we have this group size, we have classes. So sometimes, in my imagination, in my wildest imagination, imagine someone very famous from don't know where in this metaphysics school, suddenly he will like see our TheJiveAcademy, doing very good, and I straight away he will say, I want to collaborate with you, I want to open up my student database to you, and let's collaborate, you do this, and then I'll live forever, happily ever after. These are sometimes our imagination. Sometimes we may hope that someone will just come with the right word, will come with the right plan, will come with the right help to help us, and after that, our business will suddenly boom, go up. But most of the time, it won't happen to that extent. It might happen to a certain extent, people can give you good ideas, but it will not happen until the action, I would like to emphasize, is always you. You do the action. From there, yes, people can help, people can come in, but you have to start more of the action first. So initial content is always the start. You do something, the initial content is always the start. Cook curry chicken, initially, I want to do food business. I do first. I do it. I launch a prototype, my curry chicken. After that, seek feedback. People say, not good. Now people going vegan. Now people going vegetarian. I don't want chicken. It's not good. I like your curry, but I don't like your chicken because I want to be vegetarian. Things like that. Seek feedback. Then after that, same feedback, a lot of feedback. Then you redo. Cook maybe curry chicken got one. Another series is actually vegan or vegetarian curry chicken. So you keep at this process and always ask your participants for feedback, and always tweak it constantly, so that you can come up with something that is really fulfill the requirements of the people. But there is a but. This doesn't mean that you keep on changing and be fickle and not do anything before the perfect idea is out. You still need to do the first curry chicken first. Then people only can give you feedback. If you go to someone and say that you ask 20 people, let's say you have a lot of friends, you ask 20 people, hey, I want to do a food business, can you give me an idea or not? What kind of idea people can give you? Because the idea itself is just an idea. It's not even being born yet. It's nothing physical there. But it's very different when you have already come out with the first step, which is cooking the first plate of curry chicken. Hey, this is my curry chicken. I plan to market over Facebook. What do you think? Can you give me feedback first on the taste, and then after that on my channel or not? Then at least people know what to tell you. People know what kind of feedback that you require. Yes, first on taste, or how the taste can be. I also not very good in eating curry chicken, but I can give you my taste. People are telling you like that. In this channel or Facebook, I heard so and so doing well in this. Then the idea flows from there. So always launch first. Doesn't matter one. Launch first. What is the worst that can happen? You may lose some money, but if let's say the risk, right, is within what you can bear, right, it's always okay. And then always appreciate your participants, your just now we talk about the squads and the groups, right? Always appreciate them, because these are the people that especially when they started with you, these are the people that is like your leg, put you firmly on the ground. Because once your business is doing very well, you could be floating already, you know, like very high up there, very floating, or curry chicken, one week sell 1 million curry chicken, doing very well already. After that, you kind of forgot what. Back to your first batch of enthusiasts, first batch of group, your participants that telling you this. Always go back to them and ask, hey, so now I'm selling 1 million already. What do you think? Perhaps someone will tell you, hey, actually, I realized that your taste gone already. Last time your taste very good, but once you reach the 1 million mark, before that you 950,000 curry chicken a day that time, still okay. Now 1 million, the taste off already. Then you realize, oh, perhaps there is something that you need to do in terms of QC. Yes. So I've talked about this content and information sharing, how we want to create the group to support us and things like that. We are going to go to the basics, but I want to share with you the reason why I started with that. It's because of a very important thing that just now I still have said, and I also highlighted, is actually a giver's gain kind of a situation. Nobleman, you can activate, the most simple way you can activate the nobleman, right, is when you are a nobleman. You want Gui Yan in your life, you'll be a Gui Yan first. And how you can be Gui Yan is the example that I've given just now. We talk about being a group of being participants, being an enthusiast. You don't, sometimes not necessarily you are the one who's selling, right? Selling one, you know. For example, just now the Women's Innovative Network in Facebook, the group, right? Sometimes not necessarily you are the one selling. Don't go into the group with the intention that, oh, I want to target this group with my customer, so that I want to, every time I go and tell them, oh, I'm selling this, I'm doing this talk or whatever, and hope that people will respond to it. It doesn't work that way. When people don't respond to it, you will think that maybe, oh, I don't have Gui Yan people, I don't have noble people don't want to help. It's not that way. Sometimes you go into a group, it can be, you can be a user, right? Yeah. So you can be a user. Be a user in the group, and after that,
the Nobleman by Esther. Yeah. That's the key one.
Yes. Sorry, what was the thing? What is the question?
Yeah, go. Esther.
Anyone got any question? Okay, never mind. He's talking to his family. Never mind. So we try to ignore the sound. It's okay. Not the noisy also. Okay. So sometimes groups like that, right? Not necessarily you are the one selling and expecting and trying to get the customer. Not necessarily. You can start if you really want to go into a food business, right? I'm sure if you want to go into food business, you are in yourself a foodie, a food enthusiast. You like food, so go into the group and give feedback as that. Hey, you know, and use people's thing, buy. Like I like to support all these groups because I find that the interaction is much more genuine, and the product is also I appreciate because it's from someone's do it instead of mass produced from the market. So I always like to go into all these groups and I will interact with the seller. I'll give them feedback, and this kind of community is the one that is thriving, and you'll be in the long run. You'll be your friend. You'll be your supporter. You'll be your participants. Instead of just use and then that's it. They keep quiet about it. Thus, that's the reason why I spend like a lot of time in this session about how to activate Nobleman, talking about that, because I want you to know, as what I've made to understand as well over the years is, you want a nobleman, you have to be a nobleman. And in this world today, how you want to be nobleman, not necessarily by money, not necessarily by even physical help. It can be as simple as giving knowledge, giving ideas, giving good review, 5-star review on an app or on a page. It can be as simple as that. And when you do that enough, and you do that with a very genuine heart, right? People will do the same. People will do the same eventually. Okay, let's go into party chart. Your party chart, right, may look a bit different from mine. My one is a bit prettier, colorful a bit, but it's the same information, yeah. It's the same information whereby party, which means that focus on the 8 characters, which is your hour, your day, your month, and your year. So you can see that in this chart, sorry, I cannot move the cursor. Okay, I think I should go into slideshow. You cannot be so stubborn, don't listen, right? Okay, still cannot move my cursor, but okay. So the party chart, right? This is the most important character, the 8 characters. And hour, day, month, and year. Today, for Nobleman, we are going to only look into the day, yeah, your day pillar. So for this person, this sample chart here, the day pillar is actually young water. Sorry, that is me actually, but this is not my chart, but day pillar is same with me. Okay, so for Nobleman, only refer to the day pillar. Everyone got it, huh? After that, you know your day pillar already, right? Just now the day pillar, also called the day stamp, because it's at the top. When you know your day pillar, after that, you can correspond, you can know accordingly your animal sign and the sector that is your Nobleman area. So just now, the example just now was young water, right? So snake and rabbit is actually this person's Nobleman animal sign. And snake is located in the southeast sector, rabbit is located in the east sector. Okay? So refer back to your own chart just now that you may have plotted from myparty.com and check your day pillar. What is your day stamp? What is the top word there? Is it young wood, yin wood, young fire? Or so on and so forth. Okay, so this page, I'll go back to this page, don't worry. I'll go to the next page. After that, each Nobleman star actually got a mean chi, yeah. Each Nobleman star got a mean chi. For example, just now, the sample chart, we're talking about the water. So the water, the Nobleman is actually snake and rabbit. These 2 bottom guys here. So snake got the mean chi of yin fire. Rabbit got the mean chi of yin wood. Okay? Next, I put this together. Just now I separate it because I don't want my slide to be too cluttered. Simple, now you can refer. What are you? What are you? And then after that, look back into, based on your animal sign, right? Look into the Nobleman star, the main chi. So, for example, yeah, for rainwater, right? If let's say you have a snake as your Nobleman. So the snake, the main chi is actually yin fire. So the Nobleman to you, right, it can be the yin fire kind of characteristics whereby your Nobleman is someone who gives you inspiration, someone who inspires you or with your leadership. It's not a Nobleman who gives you money. It's a Nobleman who wow, this person, for example, in the party field, famous person in the party field, or in NLP, I'm an NLP practitioner as well. Famous people in the NLP practitioner. Wow, this guy is so good. It inspired me to do better as a party consultant or as an NLP practitioner. I need to do better because this guy inspired me. This is my Nobleman. He might not even know me. He might not even come and teach me or come and role play with me how to talk better, how to give better consults and things like that. Just he is my Nobleman just by being a leader. So yin fire is like that. Questions? Let's see. Okay, I'll go to questions later. Yeah. So after that, right? Why I give you the sector here is because the sector of the Nobleman, and how do you activate it in party point of view, besides what I've shared just now on doing actions and then seeking feedback, creating your trust and all those things, right? Is by being in that sector. For example, this is your house layout plan, assuming so you plot already, you use a compass. After that, you identify where is the north, south, east, west, and you correlate it back to your nobleman sector. For example, just now, if I want to tap into the snake, the yin fire, southeast, I will do my activities. I will do, let's say, preparing for this slides, my chart, my course, because I'm teaching party, all these things. I will do my slides, I will do my thinking in the southeast sector to tap into my nobleman, my snake, and my yin fire. So whenever if you want to tap into your nobleman luck, you can actually use the same kind of technique, whereby you just follow whichever sector that you want to use. And that's about it. It's very simple. So now let's go to the chat so that we can have questions here. May we have the copy? Yes, can. This presentation slides. Is everyone registered so that I can send email to you guys? Okay, I will send the slides. Two things that I can do is we are planning to, after this 12-day session, right, we're actually going to upload the videos because I'm actually recording this session. We're going to upload the video so that anyone who is interested can just go back and recapture some of the points that is being shared just now. First thing, the notes, we can also share on our Facebook. And if you are registered and given us your email address, we'll actually send you the notes as well. Not the notes, like the slides. The notes is from your own note taking. So the slides we also send to you. Okay, yeah, PKH. Esther is saying who killed? Oh, that guy killed. I thought you said I killed. Any other questions? Anyone can, you can unmute your mic and ask questions, and let's interact and chit chat a bit, or you can actually put in the chat if you're high set. Thank you. Thank you, Warren. Okay, if there's no further feedback, tomorrow we are going to have another session. Actually, every day we're going to have a session for the 12 days, right? Our initial MCO period, but now it's extended. So now we have to think about our strategy and see that whether you guys are interested to have more contents, interested to learn more about metaphysics. If you are, our Facebook, the Jive Academy, drop us your comments or your notes and say that, hey, I want to learn more about this, for example, this topic. I want to learn more about love. I want to learn more about why this person can drink so much, for example. I don't know, maybe you have this interest, right? Drop us your comments. We should be doing a post on the gathering feedback as well. But meanwhile, no need to wait. You just drop us your message here, or you can drop your message in the group in our PM, and then give your feedback on what you like to learn, and then we will be very happy to come up with more content that is suited to your interest, and then we can learn this topic and learn this topic together, and hopefully this metaphysics will improve your life. That is our greatest hope, to improve different areas of your life, and so that the community is much bigger, much happier, much more vibrant. That is our greatest hope. Nobleman other than at home. Nobleman other than at home, how to identify real nobleman, Tommy. Okay, just now, right, Tommy, we were talking about nobleman, the party, the 8 characters, right? So if let's say your nobleman, your chart, if let's say you are Ren Water, for example, you're like me, Ren Water. So you can actually look for the snake and rabbit in your own chart. That is first step. If you have it in your own chart, meaning that your nobleman Gui Yan is quite a strong team in your life. You realize that hey, actually my life quite good in whatever. Sometimes always got people to help me, or got people to dim sang me, kind of like make you like that. So for example, if you're a snake or rabbit, in the example I give just now, is in your month. Month, what does it represent? In Bazi, month represent your career. Okay, so perhaps in the course of your work, you actually kind of like quite easily found a boss or even like a peer or even people in the same industry who kind of support you or give you good ideas and good support. That is how you find them. Look back into your own chart. First step, Second step, if your own chart don't have your Bazi, your natal character, your hour, your day, your month, your year, don't have. Oh yeah, so how? Never mind, don't worry, because yes, correct. Never mind, don't worry. Okay, natal charts first, Okay, first step, natal chart don't have. Second step, have you heard before of the entire one? Your luck pillar. So look at your luck pillar. When your luck pillar, just now the snake or the rabbit appear, that means in that 10 years, your affinity to find or to meet with a Gui Yan is higher. So that is second step. Third step, okay. Gui Yan is saying, can be the person born with that year. Yes, can be the person born with that year. The snake, let's say at your work, just now the snake and rabbit example, at your work you have a Gui Yan. Oh, this person born in the year of snake one call. That is your Gui Yan. Could be only, not all the snake is your Gui Yan. Could be your Gui Yan. But then, also bear in mind that it's quite easy for us to see the year of birth for someone, because I think year of birth not so much of a secret lah. Most of us will like, hey, let's look mega. People will straight away tell you, oh, things like that. Those people, when people tell you that, it's usually their year of birth, not other things. But just now remember the chart that I showed you, the Bazi, the 8 characters, right? There's animal sign in every pillar, meaning your Gui Yan, the snake, does not mean only in your year. It can also be the person itself, the day pillar has a snake. So thus that person is actually your Gui Yan. But then of course we can't be going around and asking people for Bazi. Or perhaps you can. Actually, I do that. I shouldn't say can't, because I do that. Okay, so once you identify, then you know what's your Gui Yan. Then learn from them. Learn from them. Sometimes certain things that they say may be dim sang like, as in, for example, they will just casually say, hey, do this. Why not ask that person to help you? Or why not ask the person know this answer? You've been struggling going from departments to get the answer. Finally, this person, just by one word, suddenly sparked the thing in your mind and say, oh yeah, we actually can ask. Why am I going around, turning around, and spending so much time? That can be the thing. PKH, horse and tiger. I have tiger. Here, I have tiger. So I can be your nobleman. Yes, correct. Tommy, yes, Esther, correct. So Tommy is saying that snake, and I don't get really along with snake. Yeah, can be one. Doesn't mean that you get along, you cannot be best, may not be best buddies one. You think about it lah. For example, if you're a lazy person, you like to take off, you like to let's say lazy, maybe a bit difficult. Let's say you like to gossip. You're a gossip kind of person. Then you have another friend who also like to gossip. Then two of you together, gossip. What do you get out of it? But very young, right? These two person, you and them get along very well because spend time gossiping. Talk about this colleague not good, or this colleague like pregnant already, or this colleague what. Person who are very close to you, not necessarily or very click, very ngam with you, not necessarily is your Gui Yan, because for a very simple reason. If so ngam with you, that means like you, if you already know now you expect, you want some external help, you want something that you don't know. Perhaps you only know until this level, you want to be better. Thus, someone that is different from you could give you a good answer, or could kind of like knock some sense into your mind and say that you're actually not good enough. So yeah, that's why nobleman can be bad. Just like my sister's story, the interviewer actually sound her say that she don't know shorthand. It's a nobleman in a way. Yes. Very cute. I see the interaction. Tommy and Esther is having some fun then chatting. So this is what I mean by having a community lah. We have a group, then we can just chat, ask. PKH also ask. So got tiger, I got tiger. It's fun, and we can only grow if we have people to interact with us. Like my brain also, I don't know what I don't know, and sometimes I also don't know what you don't know or what you want to know. So we need to interact, and then suddenly, it can come up. Yes. Yes, Esther, please add something. Can you can unmute your mic, unmute your video, let us see you, and then you you share with us.
I figured out how to unmute myself. Okay. Actually, nobleman, right? If you, for example, Tommy's nobleman is snake. You can go and find someone with snake in the year pillar, year branch. But that person is not going to be as helpful to you as a person with snake in their month branch. Why? Because month branch is your career. Your career equals to money. Correct or not? Work, ma? You work, you get money, ma? So the person who can help you to make more money or who can help you with your work is a lot more useful to you than a person who is going to be able to help you with, say, snake in your year pillar. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So like for me, when I look for nobleman, actually I started in this business because my nobleman is snake, and the one person, CJ, who got me started on doing workshops has snake in his month pillar. So it's like Nam Sai Chun Chun. He just kicked me off on all this. But recently, I've been getting a earful from him lah. This is what I mean by nobleman need not necessarily be nice also, because he started scolding me. He said, "Woman, I started you in this line 30 years ago, and then now you're so laid back, so slack, never do this, never do that." So your nobleman is also someone who can give you very painful feedback. So you just have to learn to accept it lah if you want to do better. Take it as just feedback, because feedback is not personal. It is just information. You take the feedback, you incorporate it, make yourself better. That is also the function of nobleman. You talk about.
I'm smiling because someone there to give you, someone there to sound you.
I acknowledge that as a Scorpio, I don't accept feedback from a lot of people. I only accept feedback from people who I know they are not talking nonsense. They got some value to me one. Then by all means the door is always open, give honest input. But if you're someone who is very lala one and then you give me feedback, I'll be like, right. So yeah lah, the fact that someone actually dare to give me feedback is a valued friend, definitely. Yeah. I value honesty lah. The fact that they can brave their own fears and tell me is really something. I also want to share one more thing about nobleman actually. You can actually use your home feng shui to find nobleman also, to be honest. For example, this is a real life example, okay? My husband died in 2017 in November. And then, of course, I was very emo and all that for 1 year, because following that was my funny year. But if, let's say, you want to snap out of things, you want to get things moving again, you just need to find where the flying star, feng shui, flying star 1. You find the flying star, you locate yourself in that position, you can create wonders in your life if you follow up with action. So last year, star 1 was in the west, correct? Last year, 2019, yeah, star 1 was in the west. So what I did was, because my bedroom is in the west, I sit in my bedroom, I work on my bed, I have a desk in my bedroom as well. So what I did was, I have all my conversations with clients in the west. Every project I try to work on, I do it in the west. I have a living room, but it's never used. I have a study room, it's seldom used. Everything was done in the West. And simply doing that alone, no water tank, no fire activation, nothing, just putting yourself physically in that sector. You do all your conversations there, whether by email, by phone, by Skype, by Zoom, by whatever method, it doesn't matter. You can put things together. So what happened for me, what happened for me last year was that I actually met a lot of good people. I, like yourself, Gina, I think it's wonderful that we actually connected because
Thank you.
Because of you got Jive together, you know what I mean? This is just one of the things that came out from my using Star One from last year. Yeah. So when you use Star One, it is also your Nobleman. So every year it will move. So as I said last night, Star One is in the Northeast this year until June of next year. So if you can, you go locate yourself in the Northeast this year, do all your talking there. You know, like maybe you are looking for someone to help you with a certain project, like teach you how to use Zoom, for example. You go to Northeast, call your friends on the phone, start talking. Hey, you know, I want to get more prominent online, but I don't know how to do it. From there, things will just happen, and then you just follow the flow. You must follow the flow. If your Nobleman comes, and then you resist the Nobleman, nothing to say already, 就是这样. So that's all I wanted to share about Nobleman. Because you don't just restrict yourself to your home. You don't just restrict yourself to your party. You have to look for other ways as well. Now MCO, we are all stuck at home lah, but post MCO, 就是这样.
Thank you. Thank you, Esther, for sharing. Good feng shui tips that we all can do, yeah, besides following the Nobleman sector. Okay, let's answer some questions. Lauren, talk about can you identify the type of nobleman? You see, I don't know how to scroll up to the chat. You can identify the type of nobleman from the pillar that you have nobleman and then looking at the stem. Yes, correct. So just now, but all this stem, right, is also very much related to your own party. Yeah? So a bit more technical. For example, just now I talk about snake. So I'm run water, I'm a young water, big water. So fire is actually my wealth element. And so happen, the snake also carries the fire. So let's say the snake, the top stem is actually fire, right? It meaning that this nobleman, right, can actually help me in wealth-related activities, as well as can help me to put in more system and processes, because direct wealth is also about wealth, is also about processes and system. Perhaps I need a bit help on that area. Perhaps let's say all these kind of arrangements, maybe it's not very well put together. So if my nobleman is in that, has a DW, is a fire with a DW, direct wealth, meaning that my nobleman can actually remind me, can give me ideas, or can actually give me some guidance on that area. So that is one question. Second one is nobleman is Raymond. Nobleman is a pig and rooster. Yeah, correct. So if natal chart don't have this, right? What does it mean? Well, basically, whatever your natal chart have is in a sense that you're born with it. So it's with you throughout your life. Is of course whether you kind of utilize it or not, but you don't have it, meaning that you can say that affinity is lower low, affinity is lower low. But then you can always use other things. For example, looking at the luck pillar, when is a luck pillar with the nobleman? That's one way. Second way, like what Esther has done, to say that see the flying star of the year, where is the nobleman? Like for this year, you need to go into the northeast and then use that area to basically activate that kind of chi into your life, that kind of energy into your life. Yeah. So don't let your natal chart limit you. But even though that is a good indication of where you stand from your natal chart, that is a good indication. But here in metaphysics, we believe more on action, doing action related, being in the sector, do what are the steps I recommend just now, like join a group, be a nobleman, you yourself be a nobleman, help other people, help, give comments, give your time. Actually, time is a very valuable resource. When you give time, it's considered you're helping out. So that's our thing. Secondly, just now Katie was asking, so how do you activate it, right? Basically, activation in this sense, maybe activation sounds a bit more like you think that, oh, you need to do a fire, or you need to do some water, or you need to do like a chanting, or with like last time those people, you see all those not feng shui, you see those old movies, right? Always built like a pillar, then they'll sit there for 7 days, 7 nights. That kind of thing. No need so elaborate or complicated. Basically, activation, right, is very simple. It basically just means that taking action in the sector. In the sector that you have selected based on our recommendations, do your actions there. And what actions? What are the actions? The actions that is related to what you want. Whatever you want in your life, do more of it, focus on it. For example, if you want more sales, do your calling there. Do your calling there, catch up your clients there, present your proposals there. So these are the things that we call activation. Yes. Okay. Anything else that we want to chat about? Angie is talking about young Earth's noblemen are yin Earth. Any implication? I wouldn't say implication. But is that you are young Earth, steady, unmoving. So yin Earth element. Yin Earth element is a nobleman. Actually, you think about it, right? Who is stronger? Yin Earth or yang Earth? If stronger by the force, by the impenetrability of it, is yang Earth mountain strong. But who can tahan more abuse? Who can take more abuse? Is actually yin Earth. Yin Earth, the fertile soil that is being toiled day and night, can take it one. After that, someone give life, give crops. So in that sense, the nobleman that you may have may not in the surface appear to be very strong, may not appear to be like, wow, you should do this, and you like this, really like very harsh or very strong. But because yin Earth is generally more nurturing and more motherly, but yin Earth is also quite talented. So your nobleman can be that motherly, talented, or more accepting. But then the ideas that they have, because yin Earth is talented, the ideas that they give may also be good to you. So that's the meaning.
Thanks, Gina.
Welcome. Yes. Yes. Anything else? Okay, since everyone is here, I want to do a bit of sales. My sales is, please go and like my Facebook and then give your comments, give your review to us. Like currently it's about the Jive, our mindful living project. So just give the comments on that. What do you think? Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you find that the content is informative, it's useful. We've been trying quite hard to come up with this to make sure that we have a diverse consultants who got different areas of expertise. So hope that you can go and leave a comment on my Facebook. Sales over. Okay, thank you everybody. So thanks for your time. I'm going to end this session. Thank you so much.